Hello students, this is Shobik, your instructor. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we'll start the next chapter, which is idea of efficiency. Okay, what is an efficient program and how to achieve efficient programming. So let's find out what it is actually. Efficient programming is a manner of programming that when the program is executed it uses a low amount of overall resources pertaining to specially computer hardware. Okay, now whenever we do code, at this point of time we do not even think about how much memory it uses, how much RAM memory it uses or other devices we use during that programming section. So efficient program will be the programming when we use the low amount of overall resources that we have, whether it is hardware or with the memory section mainly. Okay, so a program is designed by a human being, and different human beings may use different algorithms or sequences of codes to perform particular tasks, so the efficiency of such different programs varies. Suppose you like to use a particular your style of coding. Everyone has its own style of coding, so you use your own style, and the other person uses his own style. So it is very difficult to keep that efficient programming concept in the place, because it varies the amount of resources that is used by an individual. It varies. Okay, so practicing to create a low size and low resource algorithm results in an efficient program. Okay, so if we want to do efficient programming, then we should practice to create a low size and low resource algorithm results. Okay, in that way you can do a lot of coding but using a very low amount of memory or other resources that you have. Okay, so performance defined as inversely proportional to the wall clock time. What is it? A wall clock time, elapsed time to complete a task as seen by the user. In the wall clock timing, all kind of time is included: operating system overhead or potentially interfering other application, etc. So see, there is it is just a type of unit that will be that actually measures the time we take all around the world the users take for a particular block of writing for a coding or using that code. So it is a wall clock timing, all kind of time is included. Okay, so we use wall clock timing that a task as seen by the user. To complete the task by the user, we use the wall clock timing. Okay, that is some kind of unit. All these things are not really very important for your examination, just for the fairly I don't see any importance of these things. CPU time doesn't include time slices introduced by external sources. Okay, now there are two times. The time we see in the wall clock, that the program is executed of between these suppose in 5 seconds, but CPU time is very different from the wall clock time. Okay, that is we cannot compare the two times that we took to execute a program with the wall clock and the CPU time. Okay, so this is how you can measure the time you took to execute a program. Okay, so this is a mathematics. X is an n times faster than y. Okay, execution time of y is n times longer than on x. Okay, now you can do this, but I don't think this is very important. Okay, just skip it. Idea of efficiency programming: performance defined as inversely proportional to the wall clock time. Performance defined if a particular desktop runs a program in 60 seconds and a laptop runs the same program in 90 seconds, how much faster is the desktop than the laptop? Now in this problem we use this formula. Okay, now they used it and it is 1.5 times faster than the laptop. So okay, I think you do practice these problems. Okay. Okay, let me see. Okay, I count the number of operations a piece of code is performing. To compute the number of operations in a piece of code, then simply count the number of arithmetic operations plus other operations that code is performing. All operations adding, subtraction, multiplication and division are usually counted to be the same, which is not exactly true, since multiplication includes several additions and divisions includes several multiplication when actually executed by a program. However, we are looking for an estimate here, so it is reasonable to assume that on average all operations count in the same manner. Okay, now there is a conflict between the counting of the number of operations, since addition and subtraction doesn't include much more of the other things, but multiplication and division usually add some other several things, including multiplication. Whenever we do a multiplication, it involves some additions. Okay, so this is how but the computer actually counts these operations as the same manner. Okay, so here is an example. R it initialized 0 to a variable called r, and there is a for loop. Okay, print r. Ultimately they are printing r with the range and doing a multiplication. For each r there is one multiplication and one addition and one assignment, resulting in 3 operation. This loop is executed 4 into 4 times, so there are 4 into 4 r operations. This is the order of the code. Okay, so how do you know the order of the code? This is the order of the code. In this example, it is order. O means order, within bracket 4 to the power 2 into 2 r. Okay, okay, so the last one is okay, you just do these measures by yourself, and if you encounter any problem, you can text me on WhatsApp. You can just let me know where you are getting a problem. Okay, so that's it. That is a chapter all about. So this is it. Okay, take care. Bye bye.